Welcome back. Today I am watching the two-parter, Tour America Part 2. So this is a Tour America episode about Central Park, which is hosted by Jack Moran, who's an actor that I used to work with a lot back then. See, every episode of Tour America had a different host. That was the whole idea. Different location, different host. Jack Moran did Central Park, but it was such a long episode that we split it into two. The thing is it's not a long episode. The back then YouTube had restrictions on time, and so you couldn't do a video above like 10 minutes or something like that. And this thing clocked in at about 12 or 14 or something, and so we split it into two parts. I was actually one of the first channels to be granted. What do they call it? A YouTube partner status? Yeah, a YouTube partner. And I could talk later down the road about how I lost it, but back then it wasn't really a big deal to me because I didn't understand how to build a career off of it. But because I was one of the first channels to have the partner status, I was also one of the first channels to be able to upload unlimited time videos. So I was uploading my feature film, The Long Island Project, and people are like, "Whoa, how'd you get the whole movie up there? I can't do anything above 10 minutes." And the funny part is after I released this two-parter, where the first part's only 7 minutes and the second part is probably only 5 minutes. Like almost like right after that, I got granted permission, but I never merged them together. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I'm going to watch it. This was one of those videos that for some reason I privatized quickly and never let out there. And I don't remember why. So we're going to watch it together. And I'm going to try to figure out, why did I hide this video from the public sphere so quickly after finishing it? Let's see here. Intermediate guitar. From the Top of the Rock. That was from the Arrow balloon. That video is actually on YouTube straight up. Views from the Arrow balloon. That was from a lady's apartment on Central Park West. Forget her name.
Lawns unseeded were expanses of bare earth, decorated with scraggly patches of grass and weeds that became dust holes in dry weather and mud holes in wet. The once beautiful mall looked like a scene of a wild party the morning after. Benches lay on their backs, their legs jabbing at the sky. That quote from Robert Caro's 1974 book, The Power Broker, refers to Central Park's dilapidated state in the 70s and 80s. But, as you can see now, thanks to the heroic efforts of the Central Park Conservancy, this park
I don't think
is
it was
alive
actually
and
talking
kicking.
about Central Park.
Hello, I'm Jack Moran, and welcome.
Oh, he's
to
really
Tour
giving it
America.
his all. Oh man, that's good job, Jack. Put some power into that one. Man, I was really trying to make these as wholesome as possible. I wish I had a better gear back then. I could have really made this thing really pop. Yeah, part one.
Central Park, capped at the north by 110th Street, to the west by 8th Avenue, to the east by 5th Avenue, and to the south by 59th Street. Central Park is 843 acres in size and approximately 2.5 miles long.
It is 8th Avenue, isn't it? I never think that it's that far west, but it is.
When one thinks of New York City, immediately a string of thoughts begin to race through the mind. Skyscrapers, Times Square, Wall Street, the Empire State Building, and the Statue of Liberty. Longfellow Deeds immediately thought of Grant's tomb.
Longfellow Deeds.
Children often think about the legendary mole people, but everyone knows Central Park.
Mole people. Everyone knows Central Park. Longfellow Deeds. That's too funny. That's such a deep cat cultural reference. There's the aero balloon. I went in that to get those aerials. It's a helium balloon.
Central Park, a massive sprawl of land that shoots northward from 59th Street to 110th Street, in the middle of one of the most crowded and exciting islands in the world.
I always loved calling Manhattan an island, because it is an island, but I love the idea of a city island.
In the year 1859, Central Park was created to become the first public landscaped park in the United States. It was created to rival the parks of international cities such as London and Paris.
Jack was really into this. Kind of seeing it. I worked with him a lot back in the day. Before he went union. He was my go-to. Man, I love those buildings. I keep filming them.
This year marks the 150th anniversary of the Greensward Plan. The plan was designed by Olmsted and Vaugh. It eventually became the layout of Central Park.
Yeah, so that video I also have up on the channel, which is just an archival video of me going up in that balloon. That was all probably part of this whole moment of filming in Central Park. I just like doubled up on the releases, so I made this and then I made that video as well, and I probably did a lot with still photography. Something about the spirit of this thing I really dig. Like, it's not clearly not my best work, not by a long shot, but there was a spirit in 2008.
The bridge we are about to cross is called the Bow Bridge, which will lead us to the Ramble. The Ramble is an area notorious for getting people lost. Yep. I always get lost when I come to this part of the park. Lucky for me, the producers know the way home.
We do. We love the Ramble.
Or maybe they don't know their way home. To continue this tour and see more of these beautiful pinstripes, please click on part 2 of this episode.
Right. That's so cool. Everything in Central Park.
See you tomorrow.
So as the credits play, yeah, I wanted to go back to the spirit of 2008 before Lehman Brothers collapsed, because we were just being inventive, biding time, because we were also negotiating a budget for a film that, because of the Lehman Brothers collapse, never came to fruition. And so we thought, well, while we're waiting for this deal to happen, why not just produce all this stuff, throw it up on YouTube and see what happens? And I was actually growing a fan base out of it, and I had a lot of subscribers. At the time that I'm uploading this video now, I can guarantee you that I had more subscribers then, because what happened was I had my original channel in 2005 when YouTube was first founded, and then when I switched emails and all that, I ended up closing that, and then just kind of starting Norcross Media from scratch, including a new channel. And that's the one we really heavily grew. We grew subscriberships. We had a lot of views, a lot of engagements, comments, all that stuff. We had recurring people coming that we did not personally know who just loved our work. And the moment our work got professional, some of those original people got disenchanted with us and they're like, oh, you're selling out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, God, well, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Anyway, there's just something about that era that was a little romantic to me. Anyway, let's watch the second one, the second part of this. Back to the logo.
Welcome back to Tour America Central Park. I'm Jack Moran, and let's continue.
Best theme music ever made. I'm going to turn it to the theme music for my YouTube channel. It makes sense because my whole presence on here is rooted in this era. I'll have to like just cut Brandon a check and send it to him cold. I'm like, thanks, man. I don't know what else to do. Like, we don't have a contract, really. We just kind of have a verbal thanks. Thanks for letting me use it. Back to my crappy music. We all have our strengths, don't we? Music was not mine. Choosing music, I'm definitely good at, but not creating music. Yeah. Today I would speed this up, already have a voiceover going, make it less boring. I mean, this is like I was so clearly brought up in the 80s and 90s, and that I'm imitating the media I grew up with, but it's just not what flies today. You know, you need to just fill everything out and get straight to the point. And think about the YouTube content you see nowadays. It's nothing like this, but this was normal in 2008. This passed as solid, wholesome, good YouTube
Central Park
content.
is often a place for families and children to play. Located just north of the Conservatory Water is the Alice in Wonderland statue, a well-known local landmark, where not a day goes by that children aren't climbing atop the great bronze monument to experience the different textures, thrill, and excitement. The sculpture was commissioned by philanthropist George Delacourt in 1959 to honor his beloved wife, Margarita.
I love that statue. It's my favorite one, not just in Central Park, but anywhere. And I actually featured it in Carolina, Virginia, my short film, which is also available on the channel.
Monument to Hans Christian Andersen, honoring the legendary author and his quaint success, The Ugly Duckling.
Oh, yeah. That's also a cool story. We also mentioned the Ugly Duckling in Rewrite America. God, the lack of audio mixing capability in Windows Movie Maker really did not do my work justice.
Speaking of ducks, Central Park is also a natural preserve for New York's wildlife.
I'm feeling more self-conscious about this episode. It's the same guitar licks as the first episode. I probably recycled them, actually. That was always
Cleopatra's
a weird...
Needle is one of 3 obelisks from ancient Egypt.
The little claws holding
While
up.
London and Paris have 2 of them, New York City has the 3rd. Each is composed of red granite, is 21 meters high, weighs 180 tons, and contains Egyptian hieroglyphics.
At the base of Cleopatra's Needle...
Despite the name Cleopatra's Needle, this obelisk has nothing to do with Cleopatra VII of Egypt, but has everything to do with Central Park.
Okay, so the camera automatically stopped recording because there's a record time limit. And this 2-parter Central Park thing is much longer than I expected. The first one clocked in at around 7 or so minutes. This one is at 8 minutes and 51 seconds. Plus, there was the Tour America episode that came before. So, sorry about that. I'm resuming. Before I resume, because he's talking about Cleopatra's Needle, and I'm trying to get a word in edgewise, but this is actually an area of the documentary that's pretty tightly edited. So, of course, I can't get a word in edgewise, but I'm not supposed to be able to, right? Cleopatra's Needle, at the base of it, has these cool little like lobster crab claws sticking out from the edges, the corners, and I always thought that was kind of cool, and I never understood why. So if anybody out there knows why, leave a comment, let me know. Anyway, let's resume Cleopatra's Needle.
Today, the granite in the obelisk is deteriorating due to the North American climate. In order to preserve Cleopatra's Needle from further weathering, the needle must be placed in a climate to match the Egyptian desert.
The Egyptian desert. Just so I know where I am when I edit.
The Great Lawn is one of the many attractions Central Park has to offer.
Putting a lot of energy into that guitar. Jack's top 8 reasons why you should visit Central Park.
You can go to the park and read.
You could tell we were having fun.
You can walk under your own peaceful gazebo. You can come to the park and leave your pink scarf on the bench. You can practice your soccer skills.
So I guess we weren't genuinely trying to get people to travel to these places.
You can play your guitar in the sheep meadow.
And I play guitar.
And you can do the Times Square Shuffle.
Yeah, I always like see that Times Square
Play
Shuffle
music
thing.
without a permit. You can get yourself a New York City dirty water hot dog.
Dirty water dogs! I remember those. I haven't had one of those in years. Dirty water hot dogs.
One hot dog, please. Say what you want on it. Yeah, let's do the works. Yeah.
I get the works too, except for that. I don't know.
Keep rolling.
Keep rolling. You can hear him saying keep rolling. That white shit. I can't stand that stuff. Everybody I know loves it, but I can't stand it. I don't know. Does that make you want to go to Central Park, everybody?
It's a good hot dog.
I just felt like...
Always remember to throw away your trash, because if I throw a piece of paper on the ground, and you throw a piece of paper on the ground, our whole earth would be full of paper. So always remember to throw away your trash. I've done my best to show you Central Park. Now it's up to you to get here and see it for yourself. I'm Jack Moran, and thank you for viewing Tour America Central Park.
Yeah. Why on earth?
Where's your happy little dirty water hot dog? Oh, where's your happy little dirty water hot dog?
Oh my god.
Is it
August
very,
608.
very happy, very, very dirty. Is it in the water, hot dog?
That was great. That ending is so perfect. I have no idea why I pulled that episode. Because I remember, like, it always went from episode 1 and 3, and then episode 2, both parts were always just not. They were always made not available, and I can't remember why I did it. I think that's a really fun episode. But we have a third episode, and I will play that for you guys on the next one. Thank you. See you then.
Cleopatra, Cleopatra, obelisk, obelisk. Where are you today? You're in Central Park. Obelisk, obelisk.